Great partner to a man that will become one of the greatest governors in this country. Doug, please come up. Please come up.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for America First and our partner channel, The Vet Voice. I'm here with Doug Mastriano, who is Veterans for America First endorsed, and more importantly, President Trump endorsed. Good morning, Doug.
Thanks for having me on, Stan. I sure do appreciate it.
You're welcome. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about your background?
Went to airborne school in 1983, was commissioned in 1986, and served in various units on active duty from 1987 until my retirement of 30 years full active duty in 2017.
And as far as Pennsylvania, can you give us a little bit of your background as far as the legislator?
Sure. So, I retired from the Army back in 2017. Had a sweet post-retirement job lined up, like most of us, get to have as a senior individual in our fields, and was really heartbroken that the country was worse off than how I got it from my dad's generation. My dad was a Navy man. And I was complaining about this, although I'd planned on marching out and fading away, like MacArthur said in '52. And as I was complaining about it, this young man looked over at me and he said, "Well, Colonel, do something about it." And I'm like, oh, man, that really hurt. I had a poker face at the time, but he's right. It's so easy to sit there and complain, those politicians, those guys in D.C. and Harrisburg, but then actually do something about it, as any veteran would want to do. We're fixers, regardless of which branch you're a member of. And so I ran initially for a congressional seat. Announced my run for it only like a month after retirement from the Army. I never want to do politics, ever. I wanted to be a soldier in the United States Army, and that's it, period. And so did it out of necessity. Lost that race. Okay, well, going to move on. Had this sweet job lined up again, and then ended up becoming a state senator. So I've been serving in Harrisburg since 2019. When the shutdown happened, I led the reopen movement here in the state, and the freedom movement and voting integrity movement, and all those things. I was a bit appalled that some of these career politicians that have been doing this for their lifetime weren't really answering the people's calls. The people wanted their businesses open. They wanted their kids unmasked. They wanted voting integrity, and people weren't doing anything. I did have some colleagues supporting me. I wasn't alone. So that propelled us to this next step. People across the state, they want a leader in Pennsylvania, and this is not something that was on our radar. When people first asked us to consider running for office, for governor, we kind of laughed about it. I'm like, we're doing okay here in the Senate and making a difference. So like, no, we need you, because of all that's happened. And so things are looking really good. I mean, we've traveled to all 67 counties several times across the state, and the reception, yes, we're heavily outspent, and that's the Democrats understand how important Pennsylvania is. The road to the White House in 2024 goes straight through Pennsylvania, because the governor is the one who appoints the Secretary of State. It's a big deal, and the Democrats have poured about $40 million into this governor's race here, and we're fighting on our own here in many areas. We do have some good support out there, but nothing like what the Democrats have. But despite that, we go to Democrat areas and campaign. I was just in Erie, a Democrat city, and 600 people came out. I mean, that never happens for state. It's different presidential. For Trump, it doesn't happen for Biden. He can't draw flies. It's fantastic. So the night before that, Thursday night, we were in Pittsburgh, and in a Democrat city, we had 500 pack out of Veterans Hall. We were in Philly, another Democrat stronghold before that, and we had 500 at a meet and greet, and that turned into a rally. And then we actually had a rally north of Philly that same day, and about over 1,000 came out. So, I mean, it's incredible, people's grassroots movement.
Well, there you have it, folks. Doug is obviously an America First candidate, and he's doing great work out there in Pennsylvania for our people, and he's going to fight for the people of Pennsylvania. So I would like to encourage all our veterans and first responders across the country to log on to Doug's website and donate what you can, do what you can to help, because as Doug said, the road to the White House comes through Pennsylvania. But Doug, can you tell people how to find your website?
Yeah, and thanks, Stan, for doing that, because, you know, as long as you're an American citizen, you can give to my race. It's that simple. And go to dougforgov.com, and everything you need is right there.
Well, Doug, I'm looking forward to seeing you during the Trump bus tour. I'll be there in person, and I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
I look forward to seeing you as well. God bless, and thanks again for having me on, and thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You take care now.
Thank you, too.